BBC News at midday. The Prime Minister is expected to acknowledge the intense pressure facing the NHS when he makes his first major speech of 2023 this afternoon. In an address in which he'll set out his priorities for the year ahead, he'll talk about the importance of dealing with backlogs in the health service. Senior doctors have warned the NHS is under intolerable and unbearable strain, with emergency departments struggling to keep up with demand. Labour's Shadow Health Minister, Rosina Allin-Khan, is also an A&E doctor.
It is really, really heartbreaking for staff to go to work and feel as though we have one arm tied behind our backs. We're having to perform intimate examinations, for example, on people who are coming in worried they might have bowel cancer in cupboards. Patients are sleeping on floors while nurses are trying to hold up sheets so that they can be examined.
Waiting times in emergency departments in Scotland saw a slight improvement just before Christmas, but fell far short of the 95% target of 4 hours. Figures for the week ending the 25th of December show that almost 57% of people were seen and either admitted, transferred or discharged within the target time. The Culture Secretary, Michelle Donnellan, has written to Rishi Sunak recommending the government drop its plans to privatise Channel 4. In a leaked letter, which has appeared on Twitter, she suggests that there are better ways to secure the channel's sustainability and that of the independent production sector. The proposal had originally been put forward during Boris Johnson's premiership. The government said that it wouldn't comment on speculation. Business groups are due to hold a meeting with the Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt, where they'll discuss the support that firms will receive towards their energy bills from April. Companies say they believe help towards bills will be reduced by half once the current measures end. Our business editor, Simon Jack, says it's coming at a difficult time.
Bills for business will go up sharply in April, so firms will then have to cut costs elsewhere, maybe like staff, invest a bit less, put up prices to their own customers, a combination of all three. And remember, this is going to happen at the same time that support for households, their end customers, is being reduced as well.
2 men charged with the murder of a non-league footballer at a nightclub in Birmingham on Boxing Day have been told they'll stand trial in July. Kamai Carpenter, who's 21, and 22-year-old Remy Gordon have been remanded in custody until a plea hearing in March. Cody Fisher, who was 23, died from a stab wound. Allies of the former Prime Minister Liz Truss have expressed irritation that Rishi Sunak is expected to abandon her plan to expand free childcare in England for preschool children. As part of the measures, Ms Truss had wanted to allow nursery staff to look after higher numbers of children. Number 10 sources say the proposals weren't fully developed and would be expensive. Justine Roberts, the founder and chief executive of Mumsnet, told Today on Radio 4 the government should be doing more.
It's very short-sighted not to support, and it usually is women who are leaving the workplace. We talk a lot about the missing millions from the workplace. Well, a lot of it is caused by pressure around childcare. It's basic infrastructure. It's good for the economy if we have an effective childcare system, and at the moment ours is broken.
The BBC has learned that the Qatari government paid for a luxury 5-star hotel for the Welsh First Minister Mark Drakeford during his trip to the World Cup. The Economy Minister and 4 other officials were also put up in the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Doha. The Welsh Liberal Democrats have accused the First Minister of undermining his commitment to human rights. The Welsh Government said the visit provided an opportunity to discuss trade as well as to share values on human rights. BBC News.
This is BBC Radio 4. Now it's time for You and Yours with Winifred Robinson.
Hello, welcome to Radio 4's Consumer Programme. Today, it's getting harder to sell a home and harder to find one to rent. We'll be discussing the housing market and what lies ahead. Is it worth buying a door curtain to keep out the cold? A team of scientists has tested that for us. We have tips on how to stop your perfume from fading when you put it on.
I think there's actually opportunity in educating consumers around how to make scents last longer. So, for example, it can be as simple as applying a small quantity of Vaseline to the skin ahead of applying perfume.
We'll be looking at trends in the perfume market, and 4 out of 10 families goes into debt to pay for a traditional funeral.
Because my dad's a pensioner, my dad can help off the government, which doesn't cover nothing really, and then just having a payment plan to pay the rest off.
We'll hear how the rising costs of traditional funerals are changing people's choices, with the no-frills cremation now as popular as a burial. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can email us, youandyours at bbc.co.uk. You can tweet us, hashtag #youandyours. You can send text messages to 84844. We spent more, but we bought less. That seems to be the story of food sales this Christmas. Figures from Kantar, out this morning, showed that grocery sales topped £12 billion in value in December. That was for the first time. But it was because of rising prices. The amount of food we bought fell slightly. We asked some people in Manchester about their spending over Christmas and New Year.
Definitely reined it in a bit this year. Thought about presents carefully, chosen wisely, I think, but probably spent 40% less than last year.
And do you think any of your family members will have noticed?
No, I think it worked really well.
I think I spent more than I wanted to, but it was her first Christmas, so I said, okay, let's spend some money and buy something.
And have you put those on the credit card or?
No, we don't have credit cards, so that was from our spending.
Kind of reined it in, I suppose, a little bit, but no, not much.
I've spent a bit more than usual, but you know, it's Christmas, isn't it? Once a year, you've just got to go for it, I'd say.
Mostly stayed at home, but it was a lovely Christmas and we arranged few activities, so it was really good.
I don't know, I've got to an age where people are so old, I'm not buying presents for people as much. So it was just about spending time with the loved ones, and that's it, without having to feel like you have to live up to something, some expectations of what presents you need to give someone to show how much you love them. I think we need to put that way.
I've not spent much at all, far from it. Probably saved money.
It's the Grinch.
I think this year was more about people spending time together. I think everybody sort of had that at the back of their mind. It wasn't what was around the tree, it was who was around the tree.
Some shoppers in Manchester talking to Paul Holloway. Diane Whirl is from Springboard. It has thousands